Hey guys, DJ Lifestyle here, back with another video. I'm not going to say anything on this one because it's a very controversial topic, but you can read for yourself. There is a full video interview from this particular person. Read what she's saying here. You can do this. I am not going to read it out because obviously I'll go. Think about what she's saying, or what is being said here, and then I will put a link in the description of this for you guys to go check out for yourself, yeah, because this is quite controversial, and this person is an MEP of the European Parliament. Anyway, I'll leave that one there. Anyway, if you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe. I'm going to be moving on to the crypto currencies, because this is where we are at this particular moment in time, given the world has changed and many people are still sat on their bottoms, as it were, still trying to figure this stuff out, or not looking at what is taking place, even and also being distracted by a lot of the stories, in particular what's coming up from the Middle East in particular. While that is happening, we are seeing massive adoption in terms of the digital asset space. Before I play you the crypto clips, there is a guy out there speaking. His name is Dr. McGlock. Names the culprits in the greatest crime against humanity. I'll play that, and then after that we're gonna have the Titanic. This is very important. This is why central banks were created in the first place. This is why we have these issues in our system at the moment. It's about 3 minutes, I think, where they talk about why and who was killed as a result of the central bank, and then we're going to get into the crypto. This guy here is from the bank Bookings Institute. He's going to be talking about banks and how they are not capable of creating technology, so hence it's outsourced. And then we're going to have a clip from Ripple, and then we're going to end it. Alright guys, anyway, you take care and listen, like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Have a great day.
What's happened is a biopharmaceutical complex has formed. This is a syndicate. It's a carefully organized syndicate. They've been meeting together in Davos, Switzerland for years on this. And everybody is in on it that you can see in places of wealth and authority in the world. This complex has figured out that in the setting of a medical emergency, in getting the worldwide impetus behind this, that doors of treasuries of governments all over the world will open and money will pour out into the complex. The complex will invest in itself. The complex will co-opt and collude with anybody they need to accomplish this goal, and they will reward those people with future jobs in the complex. The complex is at the top, we believe, the World Health Organization, the Gates Foundation, the Wellcome Trust, the Rockefeller Foundation, the World Health Organization, UN, Gavi, UNITAID, CEPI, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness and Innovation, formed by Gates and World Economic Forum. All the regulatory agencies, and I could just go all through them, from the FDA, the CDC, the NIH, the TGA, the MHRA, SAFRA in South Africa, they've got them all. And you know the complex is active by just watching the movement. Scott Gottlieb is one of my contemporaries, former FDA commissioner. He's in the complex. He's on the board of Pfizer now. His predecessor, Stephen Hahn, who was very active as I was active in the early parts of the pandemic, now works for the venture capital firm supporting and funding Moderna. Recently, a high-ranking official in the UK in the medical response just joined Moderna itself. Deborah Birx, remember her, the scarf lady who's in the, yes, she's now CEO of a biotech company, from being a public health official. You can see what's happening. The complex is operative. Gates Foundation invested just a few million in BioNTech, and they got out billions, millions to billions. Those of you in the room who like money, you would like this. It is a money orgy right now.
they built a ship of death called the Titanic.
The sinking of the Titanic was the design of the Jesuit order to get rid of the opposition to the creation of a central bank in the United States.
And the men on the Titanic were opposed to a central bank. They had to die. Among those were John Jacob Astor, Isidor Straus, Benjamin Guggenheim, and a host of other millionaires who were opposed to a central bank in America. Therefore, they had to be taken out of the way. And they were on the Titanic.
The company building the ship was owned by J.P. Morgan, who was himself an agent of the Rothschilds family, the Rothschilds being the bankers for the Pope and the Vatican. The main Jesuit targets were brought on board. The captain of the ship was Edward John Smith. It appears from his actions that Captain Smith was a Jesuit coadjutor, that is, a Jesuit who has taken the oath but does not wear the robes. A coadjutor blends into the scenery and never looks like a Jesuit priest. It is a veteran sea captain, Edward Smith, who orders the ship to travel through an 80-square-mile ice field at full speed on a moonless night. There had been over 8 telegrams warning the captain of the danger.
He's warned 8 times, slow the ship down, slow the Titanic down, you're going too fast. Not once stopped. Knew there was an iceberg field up ahead, knew that he should have slowed down, but didn't. And so you look and you say, how was it that this man could go headlong into a field of icebergs and not slow the ship down, not be more careful? The only conclusion you can draw is, as a coadjutor of the Jesuit order, right through the line, the chain of command, he was told, sink the ship.
Down this way. And this is why I make the distinction between clearing and settlement rails, is that banks suck at technology. I know this. I've done technology for banks in my career. It's not that there aren't great people, but the challenges of legacy technology stacks, huge, often amalgamated businesses, and the fact that they're full of bankers and not software engineers means that when it comes to moving the clearing rails ahead, using new technology to do things that the next generation of Indian consumers, thanks to UPI, like getting your paycheck right after you do the work, are going to take for granted and simply aren't going to happen in the United States as long as we continue with the peculiar decision to let banks be the things that provide the clearing technology and develop the clearing technology for the payment system. Their record is spotty at best. You're more likely to be a French humorist than a bank when it comes to developing transformative payment technologies. 1 to 0, basically. If you're wondering, it's the EMV chip technology. It's just not something that they do well. And so one of the reasons to bring them in on the settlements.
One of the big challenges of retail CBDC is to handle peak traffic as well as connectivity breaks or offline BIS. Our offline DLT can enable payment offline, a sandbox with HSBC Bank and 10 finalists for EHKD. A typical retail payment with POS but no internet starts at $37. POS, scan the QR code and receive an XRP check of $2. Now is $35. Pay another $3. It shows $32. As the ledgers on the blockchain cannot be verified offline, double spending cannot be avoided. iBonus's offline DLT uses 2 trusted mechanisms to prevent it. Virtual Card Digital Certificate specifies the initial user account balance. Transaction Digital Certificate specifies the latest balance attached to the user's offline ledger. In a typical offline transaction, both certificates are sent as a QR code to the POS for verification. If sufficient funds, invoice ID, dollar amount, R address, and the new TDC are sent over Bluetooth, an XRP check signed with the user's private key is sent over Bluetooth to the POS. When the internet is available, checks are submitted to the blockchain. With XRP, we can provide a complete online and offline retail payment system with instant settlement for a market of $2 trillion transaction volume today. This highly secure and trusted system will be widely adopted as the banking industry is converting to ISO 20022.
You mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
just
what
feel
line,
the panic in their voices.
What's the line
but here's
of business that is most
well. Here's what always happens. The first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing, and they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along. The powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say it's nothing. Don't ignore the man behind the curtain. This is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there. They're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap